going on, guys, and welcome back to our Survive in Java Series 2. And as you can probably tell, we are over it here at Spawn, and the plan for today's project is me and Max spent the better part of a week or two sort of designing a build in Creative in order to have it over here on Spawn Island. And because we've been having a very large empty area over here, we thought that it's best to get something up and done hopefully before the update comes out. We would really want to get it done by, and I know that Max already started on a separate build over there. I've got another build designed for in that area over there. That build will probably be in a later episode. Today's episode is going to be primarily based around what we're aiming to do for this build. Now, we were trying to think of themes and styles and designs for a main sort of Spawn project and Spawn build. And the idea that we sort of landed on together was we were going to go with a steampunk theme, because neither me or Mac had actually really tinkered around or played around with the steampunk theme before. And I really liked the idea, and after looking at thousands upon thousands of different images, videos, Minecraft and real life, now because steampunk is obviously a theoretical future of where the world would have gone without the invention of electricity, or discovery of electricity, should I say. So it's pretty much whatever your mind can think up and create of how things may have worked or how things should have worked if there was no electricity. So we're having a lot of fun tinkering around with the sort of designs and concepts and stuff. But today's project is going to be the main Spawn build up on the top of the hill. And the beautiful hill in the landscape, we've actually got Saki to thank for, and he actually put in a lot of time working on the landscape, which is extremely helpful, and I really do like the look of it. But the build that we're going for is going to be a very big sort of mansion, and then the actual framework of the mansion, I took inspiration heavily off of a build that I found off of a schematic site. It's sort of like the voxel schematic things where you can see the images from multiple different directions and dimensions. So I got inspiration from that, and then we completely steampunked and overhauled the build entirely from like top to bottom. We tore out all of the innards and completely redone it. The entire block palette's been changed. A lot more detail has been put in for the steampunk design, and I think you're going to be happy with the outcome of it, because I am extremely happy with the way that it looks. But what we will do is jump into a time lapse of us building it. So it's going to take at least around about between us two around about 12 maybe to 16 hours to build it, because it is pretty big and there's a lot of detail to go into it. But with the new theme will also come a completely new skin for us to work in, because you know me, I absolutely love changing up my skin. So let's quickly hop into that. And this is our new skin. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the way it's turned out. It's actually a recolored and a lot of different touch-ups to a existing skin that I was happy enough to find on the Nova skin. Is it Nova skin, or is it just Nova? A website that's got ridiculous amounts. It's got like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of different skins and textures, and yeah, so you can sort of mix and match. I actually picked and chose around about 5 or 6 different variations of this. Like this one, as you can see, like I've got little green dots on the arm, but now it's blue, just because I completely forgot about changing it. So yeah. That's pretty much what I do. Is there's a lot of skins. There's quite a few skins that I mess around with. Like the Bob the Builder one was just a straight up copy from one of the Nova ones. This one is I grabbed parts of 3 different skins that I liked. Like the robotic arm I really did like, but I wanted this outfit that didn't have a robot arm initially. And then I changed all the colouring of it. I do believe that Mac is actually wearing the original coloured version of it. So I do believe Mac is actually just up on the scaffolding. If we really wanted to troll him, we could. But if we head up over here and we could give him a little love tap. I do believe he's wearing like the red variation with the green outline. So if we just sort of come around here without knocking him off. Yeah, so he's wearing like the red variation of the jacket and whatnot. And for some reason his goggles hasn't got lenses. Oh crap. Okay, well at least I didn't die. I tapped the wrong button. I tapped R instead of E to get out of the infantry. And moving around in F5 view, not the easiest for me apparently. But let's slowly make our way back up this scaffolding. Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't got the lenses in his goggles. Can we back up a little bit? Because I'm fairly sure on my one, yeah. But I'm not sure if that's because he carried over the second layer but not the first. So he didn't edit in or edit out certain sections. I think that's how comes I've got the little hood on the back of mine, like the little hat, as well as the hood bit underneath. While his one's just a hair. I'm not sure if he liked the hood or not. But yeah, there's just like loads of different minor touches and changes. Just different colour variations. And he's actually got like a bracelet, while I've got like a long sleeve top as well. Yeah, it's really weird, like the different variations that you get with stuff. But I'm also happy with the steampunk wings that we're both rocking at the moment. I do believe he's taken off his boots for some reason. So we could actually make him fall to his death if we really wanted to, but that would be extremely mean and cruel. Although his head seems to be on backwards, but nevertheless, let's just crack on and get involved with this build, because otherwise I really want to take you on a tour of the build afterwards. And so far I've rabbited on for the better part of about 5 minutes just about our bloody skins. So yeah, let's crack on with the time lapse. It's probably going to be a reasonably length time lapse because it is going to be a lot of building. So hopefully it comes out alright, and hopefully you don't get bored with it. I don't know how time lapses are being perceived these days. I still loved watching time lapses, but whether or not those who watch this video are into time lapses all that much is another question. But yeah, I guess I'll catch you after the time lapse for the tour of the mansion. So yeah, catch you back in a bit. Oh my god guys, it's finally done, and the total build time of this thing was over 14 hours in total. Initially we did have Max sort of helping us out, but his little one actually came down with a bug, and then his little one was kind enough to share the bug with him. And yes, we ended up doing like the majority of the beginning of it solo, and then we luckily had Clowd come and join us to build like from the midway point onwards. And thank goodness for him, because me and him spent the better part of, I think it was over 8 hours together working on it, and without his help it would have taken me into well over like the 18 to 20 hour mark to build this thing. But I'm quite happy the fact that it's done, and I'm quite happy the way it came out. There's still a lot of different detail work that I need to put in. Like there's quite a few bits of block swapping. Obviously we don't want the building looking this pristine, so where it comes to like the stripped oak logs, we're probably going to be swapping in some oak planks. The stone brickwork we're probably going to be swapping in maybe a little bit of mossy towards the bottom, and a bunch of like the cracked stone bricks going further up. Probably mix in a little bit more andesite, and maybe just like different texture variants, like a bit of gravel and such. Now, until the copper has fully oxidized on some of the pipes, you're not going to get the full effect of them, because the color variation does differ massively from the normal standard copper one. So we've got the wax copper one on the front boiler there, and this one's meant to be a blue one, but we didn't actually set the copper out to oxidize before doing the build, so we're just counting on it oxidizing over time, and that will reach the blue stage eventually. But this front section here, this building here, is the main boiler building, and then that powers the cogs, which then powers all of this section of the building, which runs into a bunch of different pipes. And what I didn't realise that Sai told me when I was designing the actual build itself, is that you can actually have campfires underneath waterlogged half slabs. That way you have the smoke coming out, so that way it seems like the actual boiler is filled with water. And I really do like the effect. Now obviously with Steampunk you're going to want a lot of different smoke stacks with a lot of sort of animation and smoke coming out. Take a quick fly around on this back end of the building, or the right hand side. We've got a bunch of different cogs working from the underground system, bringing up the sort of torsion system that comes up along this fan belt, which is linked up to a windmill. The windmill I'm pretty happy with. That was like another sort of design choice that I made. It was between a windmill and a watermill that I wanted on the build. Initially I did build a watermill down here at the bottom where this cogwheel is, but having water up here didn't really make sense because there was no source of water up this high. And yeah, so I went for the windmill instead, and that powers this cog, and the actual fan belt goes inside, wraps around this other cogwheel, which then links up to the rest of the cogs, and then that would then power the rest of them, which I really do like. Around this back end of the building we have actually got the airship. The airship was the last thing that we built, and I'm really happy with it. Again, the initial sort of base model, like the very basic model of it, is just like images that I grabbed off of line, and then I done a lot of different block swapping, a lot of the palette changes, a lot of detail work. Like we've put the extra figurehead on the front. I really wanted a lion on it. Initially I tried the lion up top, I tried the lion at the back, I tried a big lion laying underneath to make part of the ship, and it looked okay but it didn't look great, so I ended up just going for the lion figurehead. We've got the rope bridge coming out towards the ship, which I really do like. Now with a build like this, because I'm not a great sort of cosmetic builder, inspiration, the amount of different videos, pictures, builds, styles, and just the amount of content I had to watch. Now we are missing some acacia trapdoors to go around the bottom of this. We are probably missing some more trapdoors and some more detail work that connects this pipe to the wall. I am going to have to go around and just make sure that everything's sort of done afterwards. But yeah, I just wanted to give you the tour as to how it is now while we wait for the copper to oxidize anyway. But yeah, the amount of different inspiration and videos that I got in order to create this was just insane. Like, it was about 2 weeks solid of just research gathering around the steampunk sort of build style, as well as factories, mechanical stuff, and just technical sides of Minecraft, like not the actual redstone tech, but I mean the making stuff look tech. So when it comes to like the pipe work and everything, and you had Mac doing the same thing. He was the one who actually come up with this whole winch system. So you've got a winch that's being held up by a I've got a supporting beam there, which is holding the winch, which is then bringing out this conveyor belt, which is then wheeling goods over to the ship, which I really do like that as well. Now, have we got a boat on us? A boat? No. I was looking at the boat and that's what came to mind. The bed is what I was after. But yeah, let's quickly sleep in a bed and then we'll do a quick walkthrough of the actual mansion itself. If we fly around to the front, so the front entrance comes in. There's one of my heads there. I died, lost all my levels, so I thought I might as well let Clowd kill me a couple of times in order to get a couple of my heads, which has taken my death toll up to 30, I do believe. This is apparently Cloud's bedroom, which is weird considering it's the basement level. But yeah, the block palette of the basement level going with the brick and just a little bit of granite, and then we've got a lot of spruce wood, hanging lanterns for that sort of grand and open feel. And it comes into this big room here. This big room here actually has a copper mech built inside. Now, I'm not too sure how this copper mech's meant to get out of this. I didn't really think about that when I built it. But the copper mech is actually a model variant that I got from, well, I've got the majority of the model variant off of a, was it 12 life hacks, steampunk life hacks video, which I will actually link in the details of this video, because there is a lot of different details from that video that gave me inspiration. It's actually what drove me initially towards the steampunk style. So I was looking for uses of copper initially before I landed on steampunk, and then I saw the 12 life hacks of steampunk design and I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. So we sort of just ran with that style and I really do like it. I'm quite happy with the kelp blocks as the wall. It looks like a giant sort of study area, to be honest with you, but I'm quite happy with it. And we've got the little machinery coming down from the ceiling, which is doing like the laser work on the actual copper mech, and he's got a drill arm as well. So maybe he was built here in order to drill downwards to create a mine system, which we could probably expand on in the future, because the entire area underneath this mountain is hollow. Then we've got a spiral staircase that goes up to the first floor. Most of these rooms have actually got nothing in at the moment, so there is obviously a lot more detail work that needs to go into it, but everything, like all of the walls and the actual basic concept, is flushed out and designed. So we've got a campfire, we've got some more copper piping running up through this room, which is sort of like a running and common theme going through this building. And then we come up to the top floor, where we've got another big grand fireplace. This fireplace actually goes all the way up to a smokestack at the top. And then we've got some hanging lights. The lanterns, obviously a really good choice for the sort of steampunk style. And then we've got a big cog and gears going. Cog and gears is the same thing. A cog and chain, like a pulley chain, going just in the top section there as a bit of detail. And then the pipe down below carries on going up top, and then it runs to the sides, and I do believe this actually runs into the smokestack, which is just there like the boiler smokestack. So that pipe actually runs into it, so it sort of makes logical or logistical sense as to where pipes are running, which I really do like. We've got the little garden area, like a tranquil garden area with the water feature. So these all come running off of the pillars into the middle area. We've got some lily pads just sitting in the water there, and I didn't realise that because we've obviously got the half slabs there with one block of water, the lily pads is a nice touch, and the waterlogged stairs obviously make the water section seem a lot bigger than what it is. And then we've got the water coming down from the actual pillar areas, which I really do like. And then we've got this side now. The entire mansion itself is linked pretty well logistically. So rather than going through the door that leads into the basement there, you can actually go up this set of stairs to the right, which wraps around to this side, which comes into this room here. And this room is running the big boiler. So we've got a bunch of coal blocks on fire there, running this big boiler system with a lot of pipes, a lot of smoke coming off of it. and then the pipe then runs around. That actually leads to the main smokestack, which goes all the way up to the roof, which I really do like. Again, it all makes logistical sense, everything's sort of connected one way or the other. We've got these steam pipes linked up to this area here. This is a steampunk inspired grow house by the looks of it. I found this, like, this space was in the building and I had no idea what to do with it. How I've managed to get myself stuck in this gap is beyond me, but we've got ender pearls exactly for this reason. But yeah, I didn't know what to do with this, and I initially was messing around with a grow house design in a test build, and yeah, I thought might as well just throw it in there. It's a nice touch of greenery and it fills this area nicely, and yeah, I was quite happy with it. And then we've got this big room here. Mac's got a general idea as to what he wants to put in this room, and me and him are sort of tinkering it out in creative and sort of figuring out what we want to do with it exactly. That sound is disgusting, by the way, but instead of having a separate staircase going up on this side, which then goes back and forth and chews up half the room, what we've got is a semi-functional, not semi-functional, but a double functional honey elevator. So you've got a bubble column just in between behind these honey blocks, so that way if you run to the corner, it takes you all the way to the top, and then as long as you don't go into the corner, you could then slide back down. So it's a very minimal elevator up and down one that only takes up like a 2x2 block space, which is highly convenient when you don't want to break stuff, because apparently honey blocks break really easily. That's not even the first time I've done that either. When I go to point at stuff and I click my clicker, I break blocks. I know that Clowd done that as well when he first went up it. But yeah, that's that elevator, and then that's pretty much that side. The attic spaces I've not really done anything with. They are pretty much clear and void, so if there is anything that we ever want to put in them, we can do. Like, that is just sitting above that roof line. We've got some lighting and everything in there is sort of flushed out, and it does look very tidy. But yeah, both of the attic spaces are pretty much the same. Like, this side is the exact same. It's got a very big attic space on this side though, so maybe we can decide of what to do with that later. But yeah, just the designing and the general outside cosmetics of the build took so long to sort of design and do that working on every individual room and making sure every individual room was completely stocked out with stuff with a build this big, it would have taken months. And obviously I am going to carry on working on this build going into the future, and we are going to work on individual rooms, getting them flushed out probably one by one. We could probably have them as like side mini projects as to what to do, because obviously this stairwell can still use quite a bit of detail. Oh, the flooring coming through this hallway in this room, Mac actually designed, and it's using a combination of blast furnaces, basalt pillars and normal furnaces. And although it's a quite high tile count, like entity tiles, because obviously furnaces and blast furnaces are tile entities, because we haven't got that much going in this area anyway, because it's spawn and everyone knows that there's not meant to be any redstone or a lot of lag causing stuff put in spawn. We thought that we could splash out on the tile entities just a little bit for decorational purposes when it came to this floor, and I really was happy with the floor. And yeah, so I'm extremely happy with that input from Mac, that and this winch system, which I really did like. Yeah, but as opposed for the actual build itself, there's a lot more detail that can go into it, which will be done. Like, every single room has to be flushed out with furniture or some sort of focal points, and obviously that gives us a whole lot of room to play with, because all of these rooms need that sort of stuff done to it. Oh yeah, that's like the roof line where it comes in by block. I quite like the granite roof when it's matched against the oak strip logs and the spruce logs. It does actually match, especially with the brickwork and the copper. I think it all just melds really nicely, just the block palette. And the good thing with the sort of steampunk style is that there is no set block palette, because if you have a look down there, that's another one of the builds that have been done in the area by Clowd. His block palette, he's gone with like the worn out copper and the red sandstone, and it's like a steampunk inspired sweet shop, which I don't want to go too close because I don't know when his episode for that one's going to be coming out, and I don't want too many spoilers put in for it. But I really do like it, and I think it's a lovely little addition to the area as well. And yeah, so he was building that at the beginning when I was first started on this build, and he actually came over after finishing that build to help me then build this for 2 days. So yeah, big thank you to him. But I don't know how this all looks in shaders, so what I will do is quickly hop over and I'll load this in shaders now. Just oh, I guess Cloud's put in a wall. I'm in an R-ing whether or not to put in a wall here, but he's came along and actually put in an andesite wall, which I'm quite happy with, because otherwise I would have just walked straight off the back there. Yeah, I really do like it. Come through here and we carry on going up the stairs. Go check out this top room. I don't know if I've got my rockets in my hand, have I? No, I've got a bed in my hand. Let's eat first and then get our rockets. So I'm going to want to go fly and sort of get an aerial view of the area. Oh, I do like this room in shaders as well. Yeah, and then the lanterns have like just a little bit of wave to them as well, which is really nice. And then on this side, I don't think I even mentioned that we have actually got a clock as well on this side. And the clock itself actually has like gears and stuff underneath, like a cog and some chains running up from it. And then you've got the clock face. The clock face actually, I was inspired by yet another separate build of a cuckoo clock. And I thought the cog workings of cuckoo clock worked really well for the design aspect of like a clock face coming out of the build. So I was really happy with that and how it came out on this side. It just added like that extra bit of detail. If you're wondering what these little flying drone things are, this was another thing that Max sort of came up with. So we've got these little drone things flying around the build, just to add like another little bit of detail. But then yeah, I'm really liking especially the way that it's like, if you was wondering how you get to the airship, when you come down into the basement, and then, oh, let's have a look at the little golem. Oh wow, the eye glows in shaders on this as well. That does look really menacing, doesn't it? Let's take a little screenshot of that. Nice. And then we sort of come out here, and then yeah, that looks really nice. And you come straight out onto the ship, and it's like the details even on the ship, like all of the underside. So we've got some bunk beds over this side for the crewmates, bunch of storage on this end. Got nice lighting sorted, and then you've got the captain's quarters with the big captain's chair. Got a cartography table just over here. Just a lot of detail for such a small area. And then when we come up here, we got the little captain's thing. Because it's an airship, I didn't think a captain's wheel was going to be correct. So you just got like a magical book thing with a pressure gauge, and for him to tell people down below which way to steer. Because I'm assuming that he hasn't got much control of it up here. I don't know, but then again we could pretend that this trapdoor up here is the actual steering wheel more than anything else. Yeah, let's just go with that, because logically I'm not too sure how flying airships work, but I guess it's something I could probably look into a little bit more. But I'm very happy with the way that it's actually come out and the way it's looking. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. There's been a lot of building. Hopefully the time-lapse has come out alright. I know that I've not even edited down yet because it's over 14 hours worth of footage that I'm going to have to whittle down to a bearable length for you to put up with watching me build straight. But I'm extremely happy with the way that it's done, and obviously there's going to be a lot more work done in this area going forward. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully you like the not the Woodlands mansion, oh my god, the Steampunk mansion. I'm extremely happy with it, and hopefully you are too. So hopefully I'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye bye.